So late into the night last night, I made that video about the Vanguard. And just hours later, I woke up this morning. It is now 11:41 a.m. And I just so happened to see that actual Justice Warrior responded to the Vanguard fuckers for literally making excuses for a fucking murderer that chopped people up and got released because of their so-called like bail system, that their bail reform system that has re-released some of the scummiest fucking pieces of shit imaginable. We're releasing them like what, 20, 30, 40 times. People with criminal records who have been arrested like more than 20, 30, 40 times, they get out of jail, and now we're seeing a fucking murderer that is some way somehow gonna walk the streets. Yeah, congratulations, New York. And you know what? It's people like this. It's people like this on the fucking Vanguard that perpetrate shit like this and results in shitty fucking policies like this. And when Anna Kasparian calls this out, then you know you've lost the plot, because we all know the Young Turks have historically been a big joke on the internet for a long time. But when you stoop so fucking low that you even make them look reasonable in comparison, and but it goes above and beyond that. When you make excuses for a fucking murderer, then your whole entire system is fucking bankrupt. And I'm going to say more about this now because I had to temper my voice because Steven was asleep last night. I didn't want to, I didn't want to wake him and whatnot. So now that I'm awake and now that Sean responded, I'm going to really speak on behalf of that. And I have another video coming up after this one as well. So stay tuned. But for this one, keep watching and enjoy the program. What's up, everybody? It's Zach the Celtics back with another video here, and another one with regards to the two Vanguard fuckers. You know what they should call themselves? They should call themselves the murder apologist guards, because that's exactly what they fucking are. That's exactly what they fucking are. Look, as I've said many, many times, I think it's pretty obvious. We all know that I'm a lefty. I'm a big-time lefty. I hold some pretty radical left-wing views. But here's the thing. As I've said before, I am not so fucking goddamn bleeding heart that I am going to sit here and make excuses for a fucking murdering piece of shit who literally should be put on fucking death row and who should be in the fucking death chamber. Because there's a select few crimes that are so heinous and so abominable and just so depraved that you should never, ever see the light of day again. And yeah, when it includes fucking dismembering people, when it includes murdering and chopping people up, fucking dismembering people, that is one of the most abhorrent, most disgusting things humanly possible. And when you're making excuses for that, and trying to deflect that onto something else, then no, I have no excuses for the fucking murder apologist guard. I don't. Just like I have no excuses for fucking pedo defenders, I'm obviously not going to have any respect for fucking murder defenders. What? Just because you live in your own little fucking bleeding heart liberal echo chamber? That's apparently what it is. That's obviously what it fucking is. And you're just using this as a fucking excuse. So you could deflect for your own fucking political narrative. Instead of thinking, well, this is a heinous crime. This is disgusting. This is a horrible, heinous crime that destroyed lives and literally ended a life, and some of them, and many other lives. I haven't read the case specifically. At least one life or many more lives in some of the most heinous and disgusting ways possible. This is like an aggravated murder. This is like a capital murder. This should be considered like a capital murder. Like the death penalty should just be mandatory. Like if you murder someone in some of the most aggravated and disgusting manners possible, like with aggravating circumstances that are this heinous and this disgusting, it should just be automatic. It should just be like Singapore, just death. The penalty for murder, like in this scenario, should just be death. That's what it should be. And I can differentiate, I can literally put my left-wing views to the side and say, well, you know what? This is one of the rare things that I might differentiate with it. Like, this is something that I will put to the side and say that, yeah, justice should be done. And there should be, implement the rule of law, because without the rule of law in society, you don't have anything. You have fucking chaos. That's not an example. You have chaos. You have destruction. That is no way of living in a country and living in a society. Like, it's just not. You need to have both. A good economic system that cares for the people. Yes, of course, I advocate for that all the time as a leftist, 100%. But here's the other thing. You need to have the rule of law. You need to have the rule of law that actually, like I said, if it has a victim, make it a crime, punish it in the most serious way possible. And if the crime is heinous enough, then yes, some people should never see the light of day again. A fraction of criminals that are so heinous and so evil, their crimes are so abominable on a whole nother level that they should never see the light of day again. Yes, 100%. But Sean reacted to these two losers, and I'm very fucking happy to see this. Well, you know what? I'm just going to say it right now. I'm still not a fan of the Young Turks, of course, because, so a lot of their positions are just ridiculous. Like the stuff about, defending the CIA or whatever. But that's besides the point. Okay? We have to come over here and give credit where credit is due, okay? If Anna Kasparian, some way, somehow, if she's turning around and seeing this type of thing, well, then you know what? Good for her then. Whatever. I mean, whatever. Good. She's having a change of heart. Maybe. I mean, we'll see. We'll keep tabs on this type of thing, but whatever. I'll give credit where credit is due, because trust me, I don't give a fuck. All respect for you goes out the fucking window. And that's exactly what happened with my opinion of the Vanguard. If you make excuses for a fucking murderer, bad enough you make excuses for fucking shoplifting. I mean, this is what they've done over and over and over again. But when you make excuses for a fucking murderer that literally fucking chopped people up, and you make this excuse and deflect and try to use your own little political brownie points when this shouldn't even be a left versus right thing, if you sit there and make excuses for that, for your own political narrative, and you make excuses thinking that these scumbag murderers should ever be free in society again, that they should just get mandatory release and just, whatever, then all respect for you goes out the fucking window. If you make apologies and excuses for a fucking murderer that we know is guilty, we know that they did it, then I have no respect for you. I have no respect for you whatsoever. All respect for you as a human being goes out the fucking window. I do not want to hear the fucking, this person had it hard, this person had this and that. So literally what Gavin and Zach are doing by doing this, you're literally shitting in the face of the family members that lost loved ones because of this fucking scumbag who literally they should just take this fucker and just fucking hang him. Just fucking hang him. That's what they should do. It should be up to the families to decide. The family should decide, you know what, I want 5 minutes with this scumbag, and if they want to do that, let them fucking have it. How would you, just think about it, just be in their shoes. Just be in the shoes of someone who lost a family member, lost a friend to some fucking scumbags, who never should have been released in the first place. Someone who never should have been allowed in society again. No, I have no respect for people who make excuses for that. I have no respect. I have no respect. The Vanguard can fuck off. Like they can fuck off. I have no respect for them. Unsubscribe from them. I even fucking commented at them saying, I'm sorry, I can't support this channel no more. I can't. I will not. If you think I'm going to sit there and make excuses for a fucking murderer, I will not. And I will not make excuses for a channel that makes those types of excuses. I will not. You can go fuck yourself. Or you two are obviously fucking morally bankrupt, or you're just so fucking up your own ass in your own little fucking political posturing that you can't just literally look at the facts and look at this case here and actually see that and come together and realize that this isn't even a left versus right thing. But some way, somehow, these fucking vantards just some way, somehow just want to make it out to be that way. You're fucking pathetic. Disgusting behavior. And trust me, we got a lot more to say in Monday's stream. But yeah, I'm glad that Sean responded to these losers. I'm actually even more happy. This made my day. And then when I saw Steven reacted to this, and then when I saw my comrades on the Zeke podcast that we do, when I saw that they all responded to this, Steven responded to this made my day. When I saw that Sean responded to this really made my day. So here's the information about the case, actually. This is what Anna Kasparian said. This is what the Van losers had to say. And then this is what Sean had to say.
Stephen Brown, 38-year-old Jeffrey Mackey, 40-year-old Amanda Wallace, and 33-year-old Alexis Neves were charged with concealment of a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, and hindering prosecution. They have not been charged with murder. Prosecutors told a judge there was so much blood in the pipes, sink, shower, and toilet of the Railroad Avenue home in Amityville where the suspects were arrested that it was deemed uninhabitable. Police said they confiscated meat cleavers, butcher knives, flesh, and body parts. Did further research because I just couldn't believe it. Here's more. With 2019 state reforms, mutilation and disposal of murdered corpses are among crimes that are no longer bail eligible. The DA said the four went to barbaric lengths to cover the crime. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing, Cenk?
Right now, this is Anna's Twitter account.
Well, you know what? Credit where credit is due to Anna Kasparian for actually putting this to the side and saying that, you know what, this isn't a left versus right thing. Whatever. Good for her. Credit where credit is due. I may not like her personally. I may not be a fan of her, but whatever. Props to her for actually putting her politics to the side. Whereas the fucking vantards over here are completely fucking morally bankrupt. Like I've said before, it's people like you two that are making the left look bad. You're making the left look like that they're just all just a bunch of bleeding hearts, sympathy for criminals, and everything. That's what you two are doing. It's people like you that make ordinary left-wingers like me and others in my community fucking look bad. And just ordinary left-wingers that just, you know, that can actually put their politics aside when it comes to this type of stuff. It's fucking people like you that make us look bad. Fuck you. I have no respect. Like I said, when you make excuses for fucking murderers or any type of fucking scumbags, I'd say the same thing. If you're making excuses for a fucking rapist or a pedophile or whatever, oh, trust me, I'd be saying the same thing. All respect for you goes out the window.
Let's look at what her first retweet is. Here's her retweeting the actual justice warrior, saying that a lot of people in America, yes.
Oh, she reposted the actual justice warrior. You fucking little man babies. Oh, she reposted something from actual justice warrior.
That includes on the left feel exactly like Anna Kasparian in this mega rant. How does it make sense that you have the National Guard searching old ladies in the subway, but the four arrested for dismembering two people get released automatically without a bail? So obviously Sean is saying here that, oh, of course, lots of people agree with Anna, even people on the left, but seemingly she can't find anyone that's actually on the left to retweet who supports her. She has to consistently, retweet people like an actual justice warrior and go on right-wing shows now in order to find any sort of agreement or affirmation that's not from her own co-host. So, I mean, it's so obvious what's happening, guys.
So obviously, of course, when I tweet out that, yeah, even people on the left aren't dumb enough to bite the bullet and say that the group of four people out in Long Island who chopped up the bodies of a couple in their 50s and hid them and stashed.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay. So I didn't know much about the case before, but okay. Thank you for the clarification. But Yep, the two are just completely morally bankrupt. This goes above and beyond just being politically biased. This goes above and beyond just being fucking just stupid and just ignorant. These two are literally fucking morally bankrupt. Like, there's no other way to describe them. They're just fucking morally bankrupt. They're so fucking morally bankrupt and ignorant and up their own fucking asses that it's gotta be, this has gotta be one of the worst things I've ever seen. I mean, has fucking Sam Cedar even stooped this low? I don't even fucking know. Has even he stooped this low? I don't fucking know. Like, this has to be a new fucking low on behalf of a shit lib channel. And yes, the Vanguard is shit lib central.
Them around their house and clog the drains so much that the house has actually been deemed unlivable, should be released without any discretion or in.
They should get the same treatment. They should be fucking guillotined. I'd make the same argument. Just let the families of the victims have about five minutes with them and let them make that determination of what happens to them.
Input from a judge, because he has no ability to hold them under bail reform. There's no way they would side with that.
And again, I am not an anarchist. I don't believe in anarchy. I'm not talking about anarchy, vigilante justice. I'm just talking about justice for the families. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how a human being would feel if this happened to you or to your family. This is exactly how we all would feel. This is a natural feeling.
Of course, they decide to come up and say, well, how do you speak for the left? Of course we would side with that. Because, anytime there's a stupid opinion that's out there, these are the kind of people who will jump right on that stupid opinion.
Oh, yeah, because they would. They just can't help themselves. Because they're so fucking bleeding heart. They're so fucking contrarian up their own fucking asses. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a contrarian opinion on everything the mainstream media says. 100%. I always do. I am always Mr. Contrarian whenever it comes to the CIA, the U.S. government, piss rail, whatever. But that's not what this is about. This is about real crimes with victims and everything, with clear-cut evidence. And this goes above, and this is not left versus right. And leave it to these two losers for this to happen. For this to happen, for where they're so fucking up their own asses they can't even smell their own shit, that they come out and make excuses for two fucking murderers that murdered two people in some of the most heinous and disgusting ways imaginable. If that's not moral bankruptcy, if that's not just pure stupidity, then I don't know what is. Nah, no respect for the Vanguard. Do not respect them. I do not recommend them. I don't recommend them to anyone. Never again. I am embarrassed to say I was ever a fan of them. I regret my support for them. I am so totally sorry that I ever supported these two. I woke up, but you know what? Better late than never. I will never respect these two again. Never, ever again. This is irredeemable. This is irredeemable. This is indefensible. This is inexcusable to make these types of fucking criminal apologist talking points. I am sorry I ever supported these two, and I regret my support for them 100%. Never again.
And then start defending it. However, I do want to give one caveat. Even though they're doing a story about this, even though they set up a stream, even though this is the thing that they're talking about, they don't actually know any of the details of the case. They keep referencing Sheldon Johnson.
They don't know anything. They don't know anything that goes beyond their own little fucking echo chamber.
A guy who was on Joe Rogan, a guy who, by the way, was a criminal justice reform advocate and never took any responsibility for his crimes. We covered that appearance on Rogan where we talked about how he pretended like he accidentally stumbled into being the leader of the Bloods gang.
I was Blood. I was a gang member. This is where the cut comes from on my face. I have a bunch of stab marks from just being in those environments and being on Rikers Island and just warring with other rival gangs. Mostly Latin Kings and Nietas. And I would just stand there, and eventually I just slowly moved up the ranks, and I became this person that I feel like I was never meant to be, but because of the conditions and because of where I was at and because
Yeah, and that was not a good look on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan should have pushed back on this guy. Still love Joe Rogan, but that still wasn't a good look on his behalf. I mean, still like Joe Rogan a lot, but he should have done a better job at that, but that's besides the point. Still got more respect for him than the van fucktards.
Killed and dismembered people, but he was arrested, charged with murder right away. Completely different circumstance, not what we're talking about. But the point is, they were too lazy to actually look into that, despite being prodded by their super chatters about the particular case, by the way, from their left-wing audience, saying that yes, those people should have been held, or at least, again, bare minimum, the judge should have been able to have judgment to decide whether or not to hold those people.
And shout out to Kevin. The LI Butchers probably shouldn't have been let go, though. I don't know what you're talking about. The butchers and the dismemberers. I mean, I don't think that anybody knew. This man had done 20 years of fucking hard time in jail. Like, it's hard to say that you're supposed to go just keep him in there. You know what I mean? Yes, it's a tragedy that he killed people. People in our U.S.
Yeah, nice sympathy. Nice real fucking sympathy. What, you think 20 years is enough? No. He should never see the light of day again. He should be in prison till the day he dies. Actually, even better. He should be fucking executed. This is a rare circumstance where I will be pro-death penalty, and I will say that this guy, give him any type of fucking execution method, he deserves every single fucking second of it.
And the government kill people all the time. And we don't seem to.
Nice fucking projection, assholes. Nice fucking projection. Here's the thing, fuckers. I'm on the notion of this. I can come out here and say, look, I will call out the U.S. government anytime. For being warmongers, I call out politicians. I'll call out their defense of Israel and everything. But this little deflection here that you two are doing is so pathetic. Your deflection here is one of those pathetic things I've ever seen. God, where's your fucking morals and decency? I'm not talking like, oh, moral, tradition, whatever. No, I'm talking about where is your actual fucking decency? Where is your fucking halfway human decency that you have to deflect this for your own fucking talking point? God fucking damn is that low. Fuck you two. You two are disgusting. Like I said, I reject ever supporting you. I am sorry I ever supported these fuckers. I do not claim them. They do not speak for me.
To hold
The
that
cops.
stand. Yeah, they're the butchers. Yeah, literally.
I mean, seriously, guys, listen to this level of commentary. Listen to what the Vanguard is bringing to the table right here. So obviously, they're referencing Sheldon Johnson. It's not about Sheldon Johnson, but they still paint Sheldon Johnson as the victim, the high-level blood leader, the person who lied and said he got convicted of low-level charges, and that's why he got 50 years, when in reality, he got convicted of attempted murder. And they're like, man, he did hard time. They had to have let him go. What are we even talking about? Not about the video that, again, over the course of 2 days, they didn't watch from Anna Kasparian to actually understand what she said, and then they give you a two wrongs make a who cares. So these guys did some bad things. Well, you know what? The U.S. government did some bad things, so who cares? I mean, what does it matter that these people that butchered an innocent 50-year-old couple dispose of the bodies on the property? The judge doesn't have any discretion on whether or not to release them, because that's progressive logic. That's sensible. Imagine being these people right here, holding those positions and wondering why people want to distance themselves from you. Being a little bit confused why people would say, you know what, those guys don't make great teammates. These guys seem a little loserish, and if I side with them, I probably would be on the losing side.
This is the kind of video he makes. Looters destroy historic bakery for. Dude, you want to go fucking destroy a historic bakery for fun?
That's badass, dude. Just
Now, of course, they randomly decide to attack me, and they reminded me, by the way, that I haven't removed my pinned tweet, which was a video put out in January 12th, and they make fun of a case, by the way, that I will link the video in the description of this video, of a street takeover that actually occurred in Compton, and you actually had an intergenerational bakery, a small business owned by a Hispanic family, that they drove a car through, went in, and went out of their way to destroy everything in that bakery. They didn't even necessarily steal a whole bunch of stuff. They destroyed it, and of course, they mock it because, you know, they're for the middle class. They're for the little guy. Struggling business owner, Hispanic origin in Compton. They're like, haha, isn't that funny? And no, it's not funny. That's why I made the video. And it's a fantastic video. You absolute dopes. But this is actually the left-wing worldview of crime. They think that the people who drove the car into that business during a
Yep, it is. And it's one that makes the left look bad. People like me on my channel, actually like people that are actually on the left that don't believe in this type of bullshit. Yeah.
street takeover. They're innocent angel Aladdins. They're victims of society. Earlier on, they said, think about the price of housing in California.
Interpretation. Let's talk about Los Angeles crime and let's talk about crime rates in California. Hey, Jake, do you know how fucking expensive it is to pay rent in California? Do you know how fucking expensive it is to buy a house? Do you know how expensive it is to eat food? Do you know how expensive it is to put gas in your car?
Because we all know if rent is really high, the thing that you do is go into a business that has been there for 50 years, a small family-owned business, smash your car through it, and destroy everything you can just for the joy of it.
It's funny how that guy's speaking for the left too. He's like, me, along with many people on the left, I'm sure, agree with this. I'm like, you look at it, right, and you're like, nobody wants to come out and say that they're a right-winger. Like, if you call somebody a right
To say that these two have fallen from grace would be the biggest understatement on planet Earth at the moment.
winger, they just like hiss and moan and like seethe and cope and I'm not right winger. I'm not right. That's not true.
I've already said my piece. I'm just letting the video play and letting Sean say his piece before I conclude.
True. It's not true though.
Now, just to show you how lazy these guys are, they go on this whole pointless rant about how I'm on the right, but I'm pretending to be on the left because being on the right is so unpopular. To be clear, I'm on the right. I've never once pretended that I was on the left. Never happened in the history of ever. And then they talk about how racist I was in the Sam Cedar conversation related to criminal justice issues.
Remember
He's
he
a
debated Sam Cedar and it was like really racist.
Oh yeah. Despite the fact that, again, race didn't come up in that whole conversation.
Yeah, well, what the fuck was racist? Yeah, Sean is such a racist. I just want to add one thing. Sean, yeah, it's a racist. But of course, you guys fucking will defend fucking Cedar. Because that's what you two are. You're just like him. No wonder you two defend him and shit libs and fucking morons like that. Because you two are just like him. And then you deflect and call Sean racist. Why is Sean racist? How is Sean racist? Again, this is why terms like racist have no meaning anymore. Racist, homophobe, transphobe. That's why these words have no fucking meaning anymore. Because you fucking dumbasses use these words against anybody who has an opposing view than you. Fucking spare me with your bullshit.
It was never discussed. We were discussing crime.
Race was never discussed at one point.
Increase in crime post the Black Lives
at any point, well,
Matter riots, post George Floyd, post a bunch of criminal justice reforms, and we never got really into the specifics of racial demographics and crime at all.
Anybody that calls himself an actual justice warrior, I'm like, oh bro, you're so 2010. Oh god, yeah. Oh, I know everything I need to know now. I took a suit.
Yeah, because your name, the Vanguard, is so much better, right? It's just like, the Vanguard. Like I said, okay, you want to make fun of Sean's name, you want to make fun of other people, make fun of your fucking name. How about that? How about that fucking game? Oh, the Vanguard? Oh, such a 2010 name. Oh, the Vanguard? Oh, what are they guarding? What are they defending? They defending a van? Oh, yeah, you see how, yeah, you see? Two can play at that game, motherfucker.
Picture of you in a suit at a hotel you stayed at that you thought was fantastic.
He still looks better than you two fucking dweebs. He still looks better than you two nerdy little motherfuckers. Here's the thing. I'm a fucking geek. I wear fucking glasses. I talk about his, I talk about this and that. Okay, I'm a fucking nerd. I'm a dweeb. Trust me. Oh, I am. Let me tell you. But you two are the biggest fucking pathetic specimen I've ever seen in my life.
And see, yeah, I got a good idea about you, bro.
Sean looks better than you. Not only does he look better than you, he's more intelligent than you two ever will be a day in your lives. So sit down, little boys. The fucking grown-ups are talking.
I went to business school with 100 fuckers just like you.
Also, for some reason, they decided that they were going to be mad at my profile photo because I was wearing an expensive suit in a hotel room, and that's what their guys in business school are all about. They knew a million guys just like me. And wouldn't you know it, that completely made up nonsense that they attributed to me that stuck in their own head is completely made up nonsense that they attributed to me that was stuck in their own head. Now, just to tell you how off base these dopes actually are, I want to point out that is the Encore Hotel in Boston, Massachusetts. Absolutely lovely hotel. And I actually got a free upgrade to it.
Oh, man, if Sean was in Boston, man, I'd love him. I would love to sit down with Sean and have a conversation with him.
Sweet, so I was very happy about that. But the total cost of me staying at that hotel was negative $100. And the reason why is because I was broke back then. So what I used to do is combine credit card points and all these different things in order to take my then girlfriend and now fiance on a nice vacation at no cost. So yeah, I'm actually incredibly proud of being able to stay there, being able to pull that off, and actually making money back with the combinations of perks and whatnot that I I received. On top of that, the fancy suit that I'm wearing is a $15 shirt from H&M, the cheap sports coat that they have, and some cheap pants. What we were actually doing was going.
I love how Sean is just like taking this like a fucking pro. I'm telling you, love this guy. You know, I love this guy. I don't agree with him on certain occasions. You know, his economic views on foreign policy or whatever. But he's entertaining. He's smart. He's intelligent. He brings people together. Whether you agree with him or not, he's a fucking pro. He's more intelligent, more well-spoken, and a better human being than the two Vanguard losers ever will be.
Going down to one of the restaurants in that hotel because I had a credit, again, from my credit card day.
Sean, I might be a rare leftist that supports you, but I salute you.
And that actually gave us basically a free meal. So essentially what these guys are mad about is that I was an extreme couponer, basically the equivalent of that for travel back in the day, and that's really upsetting them.
Like clockwork, the usual suspects trash me and defend the notion that butchers who literally dismember corpses to cover up a murder should enjoy release with no bail. Absolute lunatics. Here's what's crazy, Gavin. Anna's never heard of a principle before. A lot of people on the left. I'm happy to introduce it to her. I actually, this is a good learning opportunity.
So of course these dopes do a live stream because Anna Kasparian tweeted out their video and made fun of them because she was condemning 4 people who, again, chopped up and dismembered and tried to dispose of the bodies of 2 murdered people in their 50s. That's what happened in this particular story. And they're like, look, it's about a principle. It's about our stance. And then they, of course, pivot away from the issue at hand because they.
You have no principles, you have no morals if you make excuses for scum like that.
They didn't even bother to look up the case that she's talking about, so they're incapable of addressing it. And of course, they're cowardly, so they have to deflect off the issue.
I also have this principled notion that your wealth should not define your justice before the law, that your accumulative assets, your ancestral lineage, you know, your ability to come into contact with physical wealth should, you know, make you subject to different penalties, different level of persecution, a different level of subjugation.
So this guy goes off on this whole rant and he tries to defend the premise of bail reform. But the thing is, that's not the issue that Anna Kasparian has. You know, if you actually watch the clip at hand, that's not the issue that I have with this particular program. The issue that we both have is not the fact that you're trying to make people be able to afford to get out of jail pre-trial so that finances aren't the thing that gates them off from being able to have a release. The issue is that in the state of New York, unlike 49 other states in this country, judges don't have judgment. So as a part of bail reform,
So yeah, I recommend that you guys watch the rest of this video because this video, my video responding here is already like it's already like over half an hour long. But yeah, I just wanted to respond and show clips of what Sean had to say. But yeah, Sean took these 2 fucking losers to town. He responded to them calling him a loser when in reality they came out looking like losers, and the Vanguard is now losing supporters like no tomorrow. There's already a mass exodus of former fans that are unsubscribing from them in masses now. And you know how I feel about it? I feel tickled pink. And there will be more on that and much more on Monday's stream. So look out for that and look out for more on this topic, and credit to Sean for being a pro in this for sure. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this. Fuck the Vanguard. I have no respect for them. I will never take them seriously or ever support them ever again. I completely renounce my entire support for them in the past. Never again. Kudos to Sean for taking this like a pro and calling these 2 fucking losers out. Thank you again, everybody. I will see you all on Monday in my next video. In my next stream, rather. In my next stream, 7 p.m. Dark Reaper and Joey are going to be here. We're going to respond to this. And trust me, they have a lot to say. So mark your calendar, 7 p.m. Monday. It's going to be a big stream. Look out for that and a whole bunch of other shit in the works. Stay tuned. Stay safe, stay well, stay classy. Keep fighting, keep on rocking. Take care of yourselves and of each other. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video and in the next stream. Till next time, Zach the Soulless Guy signing off. Have a good day. Have a good rest of your weekend. See you in the next one. So long.